Hello and welcome to another On Deck Baseball gameplay video. Today we're going to dive back into the ODBLL, the On Deck Baseball Legends League. These teams are comprised of players taken from the Legends of the Game sets 1 and 2. You should be able to find a link below this video if you're interested in checking those out. And today we're going to see the Aces travel into Defenders. The Aces were drafted by Ray, the Defenders were drafted by myself. Ray gave me a little bit of insight as how he would like me to handle his pitchers. And speaking of pitchers, let's take a look at today's matchup. Today, the Aces are going to send Hal Newhouser to the mound. He has, in his 5-year peak average, a 2.35 ERA with a 1.19 whip. And for the Defenders, we're going to have Greg Maddux on the mound. So you could take a look at the differences in the players here. Maddux, a 2.10 ERA over 5-year peak average and a .94 whip. So a lot of similarities in these pitchers as they are both very dominant during their eras. But one thing you'll notice is Hal Newhouser does have a better stamina and endurance, so you could see him go a little bit later in the game. Maddux not that far behind, just a 5'4", and Maddux does have an added benefit of a 4.5 against right-handers, while Newhouser is a 4.4 against lefties and righties. One thing I will say is that my team is not very good against left-handed batters, so may play into it, we're not really sure. We'll just have to see how the game progresses. So these teams will be going at it here for the ODBLL for the second game on the schedule. And I think we're going to go ahead and dive right in. We're going to switch these guys over and get them onto their respective sides. And as usual for the ODBLL, I am using the Game Changer app, which allows me to score right on the tablet and get statistics and standings on the internet that I've been sharing into the Facebook community group. I hope you guys have been enjoying checking those out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to first pitch between the Aces and the Defenders. So we have Greg Maddux on the mound for the Defenders, and he will be facing off against Lou Brock, the first batter of the game. All right, Brock is a left-handed batter, and against a right-handed pitcher, it's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Brock. Let's see if he can start things early here for the Aces. A 1-2. I'm going to read the blue die first. Is a strikeout. So Maddux gets started early on a swing and a miss to Brock, and we have one away here in the top of the first. That's going to bring up Rod Carew, another left-handed batter. It's going to be +1 to Rod Carew, and that's going to be a batter's card for Sir Rodney. 4-9 is going to be a base hit, so we have our first hit of the game as Rod Carew will single into center. Snyder picks it up, throws it back in, and we have Buck Ewing, the catcher for the Aces. Now this is the first time I'm using the right-handed lineup that Ray has put together for the righty versus splits. And Buck Ewing is a 4 against righty, so it's going to be -1 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Ewing. A 7-7. It looks like we're going to get started early here as that's going to be a base hit. That single is going to go into left. So we have first and second with one away, and Larry Walker, who had himself a game, the first game in that big blowout that the Aces had. I believe he went 4 for 6 with a home run. Larry Walker, very familiar with Greg Maddux, so we'll see how this at-bat plays out. It's going to be a +1 on the roll. And it's going to be a pitcher's card. First pitcher's card of the day for Maddux, but an 8-7 is going to be a walk. Not something that Maddux did very often, and that walk is going to load the bases. We have bases loaded, one away, and big Jim Thome at the bat. Is a left-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be another pitcher's card to see if Maddux can get out of this. Ground ball would be great. A 7-4 is a ground ball. So we got to see where that ground ball goes. It's going to go to the first baseman. Judd Wilson is over at first. He's a 3 on Walker. And Walker is out. The turn, Jeter getting his first start of the season. He is a 4 over at short, and we need a 5 or 6 for Thome to be safe. And we get a 6, so it's a fielder's choice, and a run is going to score. Jeter can't turn it as the Aces are on the board here in the top of the first. So now we have first and third with 2 away, and that's going to bring up Chipper Jones, longtime teammate of Greg Maddux. Let's see what he can do here. It's going to be a -1. That is going to be a pitcher's card. And a 7-5. Looks like it will get Maddux out of the inning. That is a ground ball. And that grounder is going to go to first. So Wilson will ship it over to Maddux covering for a 3-1. And that gets Maddux out of the inning. We're going to head over to the bottom of the first now. Hal Newhouser on the mound for the Aces, and Craig Biggio, the first batter. Biggio of 4-4 versus lefty-righty, so it's not going to make much of a difference on a split there. And it's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Newhouser. A 9-5 is going to be a walk, so Biggio is aboard with a walk, and we have nobody out. And here comes Jeter, who couldn't turn that double play in the top of the first, which led to the Aces' first run of the game. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Newhouser. An 8-5 is another walk. So we have first and second as Newhouser can't find his control early on, and that's going to bring up Judd Wilson, who is 5s across the board, lefty-righty. So it's going to be a +1 on the roll for Wilson. Still going to be a pitcher's card. Newhouser not having much luck with those rolls, though, but this one is going to be, let's see, a 1-4 is a strikeout, so he does get a called third strike on Wilson for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Michael Jack Schmidt, 40 home runs in a 5-year stretch there. So he is the power bat here for the Defenders. Let's see if he can make something happen. It's going to be an equal roll. And that's going to be a pitcher's card. A 2-10 is going to be a fly ball. So he gets a piece of it, but not quite enough, as that's going to be the second out here to left field. Brock is under it for the play. That's going to bring up Ralph Kiner, the DH for the Defenders. Huge 5-year peak, 47 home runs. If you thought Mike Schmidt's 40 was big, watch out for Ralph Kiner at a 609 slugging percentage across 5 years. I'd say so. He is going to be a -1. That's going to be a big-time batter's card for Kiner. Can he get it done here? He cannot. A 1-2 is about as low as you can get, and that's going to be a strikeout. So he will swing and miss for the third out here in the bottom of the first. That is going to bring us back over to the Aces and Turkey Stearns, the batter. Stearns, left-handed batter. He is going to be an equal confrontation roll, and that is going to be a pitcher's card for Maddux. A 10-6 is a base hit, so Stearns is aboard with a single, and that's going to Klein in right. I'll bring up the DH, Reggie Jackson, 31 home runs over a 5-year peak, 275 average. He is a left-handed batter. It's going to be -1 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Jackson. 5-9 is going to be a ground ball. We possibly have a double play here. The ground ball is going to go first again. Wilson is a 3 on Stearns. Stearns needs a 1, 7, or 8 to be safe. Does not get it. Jeter on the turn for Jackson this time, a little bit slower. 2, 5, 9, and 10 are safe. And he does not get the safe. So that is a double play. That's going to be Wilson to Jeter to Biggio on a double play. So the old 3-6-4 will get 2 outs here in the top of the second, and that is going to bring up George Davis. Davis, a switch hitter. It's going to be +1 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. A 4-10 is going to be a fly out. So we got a third out here in the top of the second inning. Let's see, that fly ball is going to go to center. Snyder is underneath it, and that's going to bring us to the bottom of the second with Willie Stargell leading off. A left-handed batter against a lefty pitcher. It's going to be -1. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Newhouser. A 7-9 is a base hit. Stargell is aboard. That base hit's going to go to left. And we have 1 on as Lou Brock gets it in. And that's going to bring up Chuck Klein with 1 on and nobody out. Another left-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Klein. Dangerous hitter here. 359 average, 414 on base. But a 1-2 is going to be a strikeout. Newhouser will get him swinging. And as a first out here in the bottom of the second, Duke Snyder, the batter. Another left-handed batter. A lot of lefties in my lineup. That's going to be a batter's card for Snyder. A 4-3 though. It's gonna be, thought it might be a strikeout, but it's not. It's a line out. And that line out is going to go to shortstop. Davis gets it. And now there are 2 away with Johnny Bench coming to the plate. My catcher is a right-handed batter. It's going to be -1 on the roll. That is going to be a batter's card for Bench. 5-7 is a fly out. So that will do it here in the bottom of the second. That fly ball going to right. And that is the 3rd out. I'm going to get a sip of water. If you guys could, hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment below. It helps these videos gain some traction. I do appreciate that. Going to take a sip of my water real quick. And we'll go ahead and get started here with the top of the 3rd. And we return to the top of the order. Brock, the batter again. He did, I believe he got on his first at bat. Nope, he struck out in his first at bat. And that's going to be, he's 0 for 1. So let's see if he can get things started here for the Aces in the 3rd. It's going to be a left-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card for Maddux. A 10-2 is a line out. And that line out is going to go to first. So we'll line out to first base as our first out here in the top of the 3rd. And that's going to bring up Rod Carew. Carew, left-handed batter. It's going to be +1 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Maddux. And that's going to be a 3-7. It's going to be a ground ball. And that grounder is going to go to second. So now we have 2 away here in the top of the 3rd. And that's going to bring up Buck Ewing, the catcher. Ewing, a .331 average over 5 years. .389 on-base percentage. He is a righty batter. It's going to be -1. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Maddux. A 10-9 is a double. So Ewing gets a big double. Hits it into the gap into left center. And we have a man on second in scoring position with 2 away. And here comes Walker. Walker, very dangerous hitter, as I mentioned earlier, had a great game 1. It's going to be +1 on a roll. That's a batter's card for Walker. A 3-2, though, is going to be a strikeout. Maddux will get out of it with a swing and a miss by Walker. And we're going to head to the bottom of the 3rd. Still Aces up 1-0. We're going to head back to the top of the order here for the defenders. That would be Craig Biggio. Biggio, right-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. That's a batter's card for Biggio. 7-6 is a single. Single goes to Stearns in center. We may think about stealing here. Buck Ewing only has a 3 arm. Newhouser is a 5 holding runners. If I roll is anything that comes out to a 0, it's going to be a pickoff. I think I'm going to try for it, though. It's a -1 on a confrontation roll. And it goes to a 1, not a 0, as close as you can get it, but he's not going to take second base. He's not going to attempt it. And we're going to head to Derek Jeter. It's going to be a minus. Nope, it's going to be equal roll. And it's going to be a pitcher's card for Newhouser. A 7-8 is going to be a single. So Jeter will single to left field. Brock gets it in. We have first and second, nobody out, and here comes Judd Wilson. Defenders looking to put on some runs here on the board. A left-handed batter against a left-handed pitcher. It's a +1. That's going to be a batter's card for Wilson. A 1-1, though, is a strikeout. So Newhouser will get him swinging. We have 1 away with 2 on, and Mike Schmidt coming to the plate. It's going to be -1. No, sorry. Righty. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Schmidt. A 7-3 is a grounder. This could be trouble. That ground ball is going to go to first. The first baseman told me is a 3 on Jeter. And Jeter is going to need a 1, 5, or 10 to get safely to second. He does not. Davis is a 4 on Schmidt. A 5 is going to get him in safely at first, so we have a fielder's choice. As Tomey will get it to Davis in time to get the out at second. But Schmidt will be safe at first on a fielder's choice, and that's going to bring up Ralph Kiner with a man on first and third and 2 away. It's going to be -1. That's going to be a pitcher's card. 7-3 is a fly out for Kiner, and that fly ball is going to go to left field, as that will do it for the bottom of the third. The defender's still unable to get on the board. Alright, as we head to the top of the fourth, it's going to be Jim Thome leading off. Thome, left-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card. A 4-4 is a strikeout, so a strikeout looking for Thome. Is the first out here in the top of the fourth. Maddux has settled down since that first inning. Definitely what you like to see. But here comes his old teammate, Chipper Jones. It's going to be a -1 on the roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card. An 8-6 is a walk, so Jones is aboard. 1 on, 1 out. Turkey Stearns now the batter. Left-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be batter's card for Stearns. An 8-9 is a double. That double is going into the gap between left and right. Snyder picks it up. Is Thome going to get waved home? No, he is not. We're going to have second and third with 1 away, and Mr. October stepping up to the plate. It's going to be -1. That's going to be a batter's card for Reggie Jackson. A 1-6, though, is a strikeout. That is one of the things Jackson does a lot of, and that is swing and miss. But if he gets a hold of one, forget about it. And that's going to be the second out here in the top of the fourth. George Davis now up with second and third and 2 away. Switch hitter. It's going to be +1 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Davis. He's got a .412 on base percentage. A 10-4 is a base hit. That single is going into center. Jones is going to score. Stearns is going to stay at third, so the Aces put on their second run of the game as Davis gets a RBI single here in the top of the fourth, and that is going to bring up Lou Brock with first and third and 2 away. Brock, left-handed batter. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. Can Maddux get out of it? Looks like he can. A 5-2 is a strikeout. So a called strike 3 as Maddux gets away with just allowing 1 more run as the Aces take a 2-0 lead here entering the bottom of the fourth. And that's going to bring up Willie Stargell for the defenders. A -1. That's going to be a batter's card for Stargell. 9-2 is a walk, so Stargell is aboard to lead off the bottom of the fourth. Chuck Klein the batter. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card for Newhouser. 4-8 is a ground ball. Another possible double play here. That ground ball is going to go to short. Davis is a 5. And Stargell's already out. Carew is a 3. A 1. So Chuck Klein is going to beat it out. Another fielder's choice. The teams just can't turn to double play in this game so far. So Davis to Carew, as Stargell is wiped clean of second base. That's going to put Klein on first with 1 away, and Duke Snyder the batter. It's going to be -1. That's going to be a batter's card for Snyder. Can he come through? A 1-5 is a strikeout. So these two pitchers are putting on a clinic for strikeouts as we have just a 2-run game so far here. In the bottom of the fourth, Johnny Bench is the batter. It's going to be, looks like a -1 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Newhouser. A 1-6 is a ground ball, and that's going to do it here in the bottom of the fourth. That ground ball goes to second. Carew picks it up, shoots it over to Jim Thome for the final out here in the bottom of the fourth as we head to the top of the fifth. Rod Carew now the batter for the Aces. It's going to be +1 on the roll. That's going to be batter's card for Carew. A 4-1 is a line out. So Carew gets some good wood on it, but he will line out to Biggio at second base. And that's going to bring up Buck Ewing. Ewing, right-handed batter. It's -1. That's going to go down to a pitcher's card. A 7-8 is a single. Ewing, I believe, gets his second base hit of the game. That is one of the things that I wish this app did, was tell you what the batters did right on the main screen. But if you don't show it on the main screen, that's fine. You can go over to stats and you can take a look to see what Buck Ewing did. So yeah, that is his third hit of the game. So he's 3 for 3, 2 singles and a double. So he's having a pretty good game so far for the Aces. All right, so with one away, that's going to bring up Larry Walker. Larry Walker is going to be a +1 on the roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. A 9-9 is a single, so he gets a piece of it. On a batter's card, that would most likely been, no, it would have been a triple. But he does get a single here. Goes to Snyder in center, and we have first and second with one away, and the big Jim Thome coming to the plate. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card. Maddux needs a ground ball here. Is he going to get it? No, he will get a fly out, though. And that fly ball is going to go to right. Chuck Klein underneath it for the second out here in the top of the fifth. And Chipper Jones, the batter, he's got first and second, 2 away. See if he can make some more runs across the plate. It's going to be a -1. That's going to be a pitcher's card. Can Maddux get out of it? Who is one of my die? 9-10 is a double. Big time double by Chipper Jones. That double's going into center. And it looks like that's going to be a 2-run double. And something happened here with the app. Let me just figure this out real quick. And Walker is safe on the play as well. The throw is going to go into second, keep Jones at second base, and all of a sudden we have a 4-0 lead for the Aces. I'm sorry, yeah, for the Aces, and we have to roll on Maddux. Going to roll on his poise chart, and it is a no change for Maddux. That's good news for the defenders. But the bad news is they are now down by 4 runs with nothing on the board to show for themselves. And that is going to bring up Turkey Stearns with a man on second and 2 away. And it's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card. Maddux needs to get out of this inning here. A 5-2, and he will with another strikeout. But not before the Aces tack on 2 more, and they now hold a 4-0 lead, getting into the bottom of the 5th. And that's going to bring up the top of the order again, and Craig Biggio. Let's see what Biggio has done so far. Biggio so far is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. It's going to be an equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card. 5-8 is a ground ball, and that's going to be the first out of the inning here, as that ground ball will go to third, as Chipper Jones will get it and shoot it over to Thome for the out. And we have one away here in the bottom of the 5th. Derek Jeter now the batter. It's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a batter's card for Jeter. A 6-7 is a base hit, so Jeter is aboard. I would say I'd want to steal, but that Newhouser hold is a -5 against a jump 3. That'd be a -2 on a confrontation roll for the jump, and that could be possibly leading to a pickoff. So I'm not going to do that. And Judd Wilson will be the batter with a man on first and 1 away. It's going to be +1 on the roll. It's going to be a batter's card for Wilson. A 1-6 is going to be a ground ball, and now there's a possible double play here. That ground ball is going to go to first. Thome is a 3 on Jeter. Jeter needs a 1, 5, or 10 to be safe. He does get it. A 5 on Wilson over at first for Davis, and he will get the out there. So Jeter, with the slide, gets Davis off the bag, but Davis throws it over to Thome just in time for the out at first. So Jeter at second base, almost like a stolen base, is going to be 2 away here with Mike Schmidt now the batter. That's going to be equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card for Newhouser, though. And a 2-1 is going to get Newhouser out of the inning with a called third strike to Schmidt. And now we head to the top of the 6th with the Aces still ahead 4-0. And now we have to start thinking about fatigue for our pitchers. A 5-4, we're going to roll on the first inning past his max innings. We roll a 9, and it's no change. So Maddux, no change yet. That's good news for the defenders. The bad news is down by 4, entering the 6th inning. And it's going to bring up Reggie Jackson for the Aces. Jackson is a -1 on this confrontation roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Maddux. A 1-8 is a possible error. Going to roll the same die. It's going to be a 5-7, a possible error on a ground ball. That grounder goes to second base. Biggio is our second baseman, happens to be right here. We're going to roll on his primary chart. A 4, it is a one-base error, so Jackson is aboard with the error by second baseman Craig Biggio. And we have one on with nobody out and George Davis, the batter. Switch hitter, it's going to be +1. It's going to be a batter's card for Davis. And 8-3 is a single. That single to center is going to move Jackson up to second. We have first and second, nobody out, as the Aces are threatening once again. And Lou Brock, the top of the order, is going to be the batter. Brock, the left-handed batter, it's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Brock. A 3-4 is a strikeout. So Maddux gets him swinging for the first out here. Maddux looking for a ground ball out of Carew. And Carew, left-handed batter, is going to be +1. That's a batter's card for Carew. A 1-4 is a strikeout. So Maddux starting to control the strike zone a little bit better, as he will get a swing and miss out of Carew. And we have two away here all of a sudden with first and second in the top of the sixth. Buck Ewing having himself a game. Let's see what he can do here. It's going to be a -1. That's going to be a batter's card for Ewing. A 7-8 could be a big-time roll. It is. That is a base hit. Snyder, wait, where does it go? Nope, it goes to Klein. Jackson speed. There is two away. Jackson is a 4, so Jackson's going to score a run here, and the Aces take a 5-0 lead off of a Buck Ewing single. There is now first and second. Oh, I'm sorry, Davis is also going to end up at third. He'll take it because there's two away. And that's going to leave first and third with Larry Walker up. Aces now up 5-0. It's going to be +1 on the roll. That's going to be batter's card. Walker looking to do some big time damage here. A 6-9 is going to be a single. It's not ending, as Davis is going to score. That single is going to go to right. Klein again. Buck Ewing is going to end up at third, and we could possibly try to go. Let's see, Klein's arm is a 4 on Ewing. It's 50-50 shot. I think I'll keep him there. And it looks like Jim Tomei is going to come to the plate with first and third. Have to roll on the poise chart for Maddux. He is a -1. Maddux getting a little lit up here. He's going to go down to a 3-4 now. And Tomei, the batter, is going to be a +1 now on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card. Tomei coming up. Let's see if he can come up big time. 2-7 is going to be a strikeout. So Maddux will get out of it with another swing and a miss, doing what he does best, but he allows some more runs as the Aces take a 6-0 lead. And we head to the bottom of the sixth with DH Ralph Kiner coming to the plate. Newhouser, we're going to have to roll on his fatigue chart. He is a 5-5, so it's going to be a lot tougher to get a hit on him as he rolls a 5, and that is no change. So Ray, looks like we're not going to have to worry too much about changing your pitchers early on, as he has not allowed a run yet through 5 innings. We'll take a look, see what he can do here in the sixth. It's going to be a -1. It's going to be a pitcher's card. A 2-10 is going to be a fly ball, so Kiner again getting a piece of it, but can't do anything with it as he's going to fly out to left. Rock is underneath it. That's going to bring up Stargell. Stargell, left-handed batter as usual. It's going to be a -1 for Newhouser on the pitcher's card. 1-4 is going to be a strikeout. Newhouser is cruising. Chuck Klein, the batter. Lefty versus lefty. It's equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card for Newhouser again. A 2-2 is another strikeout. Called strike 3 on the corner. And that is going to do it here in the bottom of the sixth as we head to the top of the seventh as Newhouser is cruising. All right, we head to the top of the seventh, and we're going to have to roll on Maddux again. He's already a -1 because of that poise chart roll. And he's another -1 as we roll a 5 on his fatigue chart on second inning passed. So now, with Chipper Jones coming to the plate, he is a -2, -3. Not great numbers. He does have to face at least one batter because I rolled on him. And that's going to be Chipper Jones with a +1 on the confrontation roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Jones. A 6-7 is going to be a walk. And I think we need to start thinking about putting in a new pitcher, and I think that's exactly what we're going to do here. Let's see. So Maddux needs to come out. This is going to be the first time I go to the bullpen. Satchel Paige pitched a complete game in the first game for the Defenders. Much different story here for the Defenders in Game 2. And got Turkey Stearns leading off. Or sorry, second batter here in the inning. He's a lefty. Some lefties coming up. And it looks like Jim Cott is going to get the call from the pen. Jim Cott, a lefty pitcher. So that should do pretty well against these lefty batters coming up. A 2.95 ERA over 5-year peak for 1.16 whip. And Turkey Stearns will be the batter that Jim Cott will be facing. Got him all switched up in the app. Stearns, left-handed batter, +1 on a confrontation roll against Cott. That's going to be a batter's card for Stearns. A 2-1 is a strikeout, so Cott comes in and gets Turkey Stearns swinging on a third strike. And that's going to bring up Jackson. Mr. October is a lefty. It's going to be -1 on that roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Jackson. A 9-10 is going to be a home run. That is a 2-run shot for Reggie Jackson as the Aces continue to put big-time runs here in the second game in a row, as they have now put on 8 on the board and not allowed a single run to the Defenders. That's going to bring up now George Davis with 1 away, as the call to the bullpen did not work out at all the way I thought it would. It's going to be a +2 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Davis. A 2-10 is going to be a ground ball. That grounder is going to go to first. Wilson is going to take it himself. And we head back to the top of the order with 2 away, and Lou Brock the batter. Brock a -1 on a confrontation roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Cott. It looks like Cott will get out of it with a 9-1. That's going to be a ground ball, and that grounder is going to go to third. Schmidt over to Wilson for the third out here in the top of the 7th. We head to the bottom of the 7th now. Newhouser is still cruising, and he is going to be facing Snyder for the first batter here in the bottom of the 7th. We do have to roll on his second inning past max stamina. He rolls a 9, which is no change. So Newhouser still maintaining his great numbers of a 4-4 across the board. And it's going to be a -1 on the roll. That's going to go down to a pitcher's card. And a 7-3 is a flyout. Flyout is going to go to right. Walker underneath it. And Johnny Bench will be the batter. It's going to be a -1. That's going to go down to a pitcher's card. As Newhouser continues to cruise, that's going to be a ground ball. And that grounder is going to go back to Newhouser. Newhouser will pick it up, shoot it over to Tomei for the second out here in the bottom of the 7th. And we're going to head to the top of the order now. Biggio the batter. Biggio so far in the game is 1 for 3 with a walk and a single. Going to be righty versus lefty. It's an equal roll. It's going to be a batter's card for Biggio. And a 2-8 is going to end it here, as that will be a flyout to right field. Walker's underneath it for the final out as Newhouser continues to cruise here. And I'm going to check because I believe that is 3 innings for Newhouser. And it is. So we get to roll on his poise chart, see if he gets an ad here. 7 he does, so he is a +1. That brings him to a 5-5 now entering the next inning. He will have to roll on that fatigue chart, so he may lose it, but if he loses it, he only just gained it, so it's not too bad. All right, that's going to bring us to the top of the 8th, and Jim Cott facing Rod Carew, lefty versus lefty. It's equal roll. It's going to be a pitcher's card for Cott. A 5-1 is going to be a line out. That line out is going to be right back to Cott. He'll snag it out of the air for the first out of the inning. And we're going to head to Buck Ewing. Buck Ewing having himself a game here. He is 4 for 4 with 3 singles and a double. All right, so right-handed batter against a left-handed pitcher. It's going to be +2 on this roll. That's going to go up to a batter's card for Ewing. A 7-8 is a single, so Ewan cannot make an out. The defender's having all kinds of trouble with him as that single goes to center, and we have a man on first with one away and Larry Walker up. It's going to be equal roll. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Cott. 7-9 is another single. The Aces are just laying it on here as they have first and second with one away, and Jim Tomei, the batter. Lefty versus lefty, it's -2. It's going to be a pitcher's card. Can Cott get an out here? Looks like he can, and it's a ground ball. That's a big-time ground ball. Let's see, that grounder goes to Cott. And he is a two-fielder. He's going to try for the double play here. Walker only has a 1-7-8 to be safe. And he gets it. Jeter, let's see, the left-handed, no, it's going to be Biggio. He's a 3, a 4, and he gets Tomei out, so it's going to be basically a 6-3 is how I have to put it on this. So it's going to be second and third with 2 away. And Chipper Jones, a batter, right-handed batter, it's +2. It's going to be a pitcher's card. Can Cott get out of this? He cannot. A 9-8 is a double. Chipper Jones coming through in all kinds of ways here. And that double is going to go to left, so between left and center. As the Aces pile it on and now lead 10-0. And Cott has now given up his third run. We're going to have to roll on his poise chart. And he is a -1 on that now. And that's going to make him a 3-1. Not great. But the lefty batters are coming up, so I'm going to keep him in there. All right, so it's going to be +2 on a roll for Stearns. It's a batter's card. A 7-8, it just continues. And it's going to be a base hit plus. With the base hit plus, Jones is going to score. And that's going to leave Stearns at first with 2 away, and Reggie Jackson the batter. It's going to be equal roll now. It's going to be batter's card for Jackson. A 10-1 is a fly out, and the inning is finally over as that fly ball will go to right. As Klein is underneath it. So now we head to the bottom of the 8th as the Aces are up 11-0. Newhouser has yet to allow a run. We do have to roll on his 6th, 7th, 3rd inning, but remember he did have that increase, so only a -2 will affect him greatly. We roll 1 and it's no change. He is a 5-5 with that increase now, and that is going to be facing off against Jeter, right-handed batter. It's going to be -1. That's going to be a pitcher's card. A 9-8 is a single, so Jeter is aboard to lead off the bottom of the 8th. As he will single to center, Stearns picks it up, throws it in, and we got Judd Wilson now, the batter. It's going to be equal roll there. That's going to be a batter's card for Wilson. A 6-6 is a base hit. So this isn't the first time that the defenders have threatened, but they still don't have any runs, so this may be the first time they can get something on the board. So it's going to be a -1 against Schmidt. That's going to go down to a pitcher's card. A 9-5 is a walk. We now have bases loaded. And Ray, I'm not sure what you would do in this situation, but with 11-0 lead, I'm going to keep Newhouser in just to see if he can get out of it. That's going to bring up Ralph Kiner. Kiner is going to be a -2 on a confrontation roll. That goes down to a pitcher's card. A 6-1 is going to be a pop-out, so no runs are going to score on that. And it's going to be a pop-out to third base. Chipper Jones underneath it. And we have one away, Willie Stargell, the batter. Stargell is a left-handed batter. It's going to be -2. That's going to be a pitcher's card. A 2-8 is a fly ball, so we got a possible sacrifice here. That fly ball is going to go to center. Stearns is in center with a 3-arm on Jeter. And I'm going to go, and I think the Aces are just going to allow the run to score rather than allow runners to move up. So it's going to be a sacrifice fly here. to Stearns in center, but the other runners are not going to advance, so it's just going to be Jeter who scores. And we have 2 away now with Chuck Klein the batter. As the first run for the defenders, so they finally get on the board. Chuck Klein the lefty, it's going to be -1 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Klein. A 5-10 is going to be a single. So finally the defender's getting something going here. That single is going to go to left field, and Wilson is a 3. Let's see, Chuck Klein is a 3. Wilson is a 5. He's going to score. Schmidt is going to be at third, and the defenders got 2 runs all of a sudden, as they are now only behind by 9. That's a pretty big deficit, but that is going to bring up Snyder with first and third and 2 away here. It's going to be lefty versus lefty. It's -2. It's going to go down to a pitcher's card for Newhouser, and a 2-7 looks like it's going to get Newhouser out of the inning. That's going to be a ground ball to first base. Tome is going to pick it up, and he'll take it himself for a 3-U. But while that ends the bottom of the 8th, the defenders finally get 2 runs on the board, and it is now only 11-2. Only. And that's going to bring us to the top of the 9th. Jim Cott against George Davis. And you know what? I think Cott has to come out. He's a 1 against righties. It's not very good. And we're going to bring in Jack Morris for this top of the 9th. So Morris is now the pitcher. He will face off against George Davis. Morris is pretty good, 3.38, 1.21 whip. Some people say he's a borderline Hall of Famer, but he is in the Hall of Fame, so he's definitely a part of this set. And George Davis, a switch hitter, he'll be batting from the left side. It's going to be +2. That's going to be a pitcher's card for Morris. A 2-3 is going to be a strikeout, so Morris gets him looking. And that's going to bring us back to the top of the order, and Lou Brock. Brock, the left-handed batter, it's going to be +1. It's going to be a batter's card for Brock. And 8-10 is a base hit. Base hit goes to center. We have 1 on and 1 away. Lou Brock now the batter. It's going to be +2 on the confrontation roll there. That's a batter's card. A 3-4 is going to be a ground ball. That grounder is going to go to short. Jeter, a 4 on Brock. You know what? Jeter's just going to get the out. We've had too many failed double plays. Don't want to chance it. So Jeter will get it over to Wilson to get Carew out. Brock is going to move up to second. Buck Ewing, the batter. He has been something unusual here. Buck Ewing, take a look at his line score real quick. Ewing is 5 for 5 with 4 singles and a double in the game so far. And let's see, against Morris, he is going to be an equal roll. And that's a pitcher's card. Let's see if Morris can get Ewing out for the first time in the game. An 8-1 he does. Line out will be Ewing's first out as he lines out to third base. We're going to head to the bottom of the 9th now, with the aces still up 11-2. And bench is going to be batter. We are at a 5-5 with Newhouser. Yep, he has not taken a deficit. He still has that +1. 6, 7, 8. And we're going to roll on a 4th inning pass. See if he can finish out this game. We roll a 5. It's a -1. But that -1 only brings him back down to his original lefty-righty splits of a 4-4. So, with that, we're heading out to Johnny Bench. It's going to be a -1 on the roll. That's going to be a batter's card for Bench. A 7-7 is a base hit. So Bench gets on to lead off the bottom of the 9th as the defenders are just trying to add more runs to this game. That's going to bring up Biggio. Biggio is a righty. It's going to be 4. It's going to be an equal roll. It's going to be a batter's card for Biggio. A 4-4 is a ground ball. That ground ball is going to go to first base. Tomei is a 3 on bench. Bench, we need a 1 or a 6 to be safe. We do not get that. A 5 on Biggio. We need a 5 or 6. We don't get it. It's a 4. It's a double play. A double play is going to kill my rally. So we have a 1-6-4, sorry, a 3-6-4 double play. And there are now 2 away. And the defenders are down to their last out. And Derek Jeter is the batter. It's going to be righty versus lefty. It's going to be equal roll. And it's going to be a batter's card for Jeter. A 5-5. And that is going to do it. Jeter is going to fly out for the last out of the game. He flies out to left. Brock is underneath it to bring it in. And that is going to do it here, as the Aces are going to slug the ball and put on 11 runs on the board, defeating the defenders 11-2. We're going to go ahead and end that game. The winning pitcher is going to be Newhouser. Losing pitcher is going to be Maddux. Unfortunately, there's not going to be anybody with a save, as Newhouser completed the game for the victory. And we're going to take a look at our box score here, see who the player of the game is, and I think, honestly, you just have to give it to Newhouser. 9 innings pitched, a complete game victory, only 2 runs allowed while striking out 8 and walking 4. So Newhouser, your player of the game, as the Aces defeat the defenders. If you guys could hit that thumbs up, leave a comment below. This was a fun game, probably more so for Ray than myself. As the Aces jump out to a 2-0 record now here, the second game of the schedule. So that's going to do it here. Aces defeat the defenders 11-2. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for this feature presentation of the ODBLL. Hopefully my team will get a win sometime here. They are 1-1, so that's not too bad. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. I certainly did, and we will see you next time here on Deck Baseball. Thank you.